Should you post on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube for high ticket clients? Now, you might think you know the answer, like obviously duh YouTube for high ticket, or maybe you think obviously duh Instagram for high ticket, but you might be surprised because it depends on a lot more variables than you might think and where exactly you are in your business. Now in this video, we'll be tailoring it exactly to your business so you can follow along wherever you are, resulting in a lot more money for your business. So now why should you listen to me? Here's some of my results. Pause and read that if you want. These are all my own channels except for this one. This is my clients. And these are my clients' results and my results here. Pause and read that if you want. I can zoom in. This is real cash. This is real money right here as well. And that. So you can pause and read this if you want. But yeah, so let's just get right into it. So I'm going to be breaking down each one of these individually, starting with YouTube, because it's the good old reliable. Or is it? I won't deny YouTube is king for converting high ticket clients, but growing a new channel in 2026 is much harder than in 2024. And also converting high ticket for YouTube is a bit different now today. So I'll be going in depth on that as well, because it also really depends on your circumstances. So we'll go through 3 types of channels and what exactly you should do at each level. Starting at level 1, a brand new channel, or let's just say less than 500 subscribers. And sad to say, a brand new channel in 2026, you definitely are playing on hard mode, especially for getting high ticket clients on YouTube. The entertainment industry is going to be a lot easier to start off with, I won't lie, but high ticket in 2026 with a brand new channel is basically hard mode, and that's what I'm here to help you with. Because good news, it's not completely over. There are actually 2 ways of making this work, and I'll be going through each one of those now. So number 1 is an existing audience. So that basically means, do you have friends or clients or literally anyone else? If you have anyone you know that might like your content, then send them your channel, send them a few videos, whatever. But prioritize people who would typically watch your content. This is actually really important because YouTube gathers data on your channel based on the type of content that your viewers watch. So if you send your high ticket AI agency video to like your cousin who only watches Roblox, for example, that's a terrible idea because YouTube is just going to get confused. It's going to think your video is a Roblox video. So you don't want to do that. So if you do have friends, families, or clients or whatever, you can send them your channel and you can do the other thing. That would actually be what I recommend for both people. So number 2, we have an external audience. And this is mainly going to be TikTok and Instagram. If you don't have any views on YouTube, go to TikTok or Instagram or both. Then redirect that audience to YouTube. It's more like a funnel system. It's basically like the top of funnel leading to the bottom of funnel, and YouTube is going to be where you convert a lot more people. But I will say Instagram is a lot more bottom of funnel, or I'd say middle of funnel compared to TikTok. TikTok is a lot more top of funnel. So like I was just explaining, it is a lot more complex than just directing it to YouTube. So I'll explain that in more depth when we get there to the individual sections. So for both of these strategies, if you have an existing audience or an external one, the most important thing is to just keep posting. Stay consistent in the dark. I know this is probably the hardest time for you because you're literally getting no results. You don't know if anything's working, but if you can keep making good content with proof, then you will grow. These are the 2 most important things. The content is good and you actually have proof of what you're trying to sell in the videos. Whether that's, let's say, a dating coach brand or whatever, you actually have real results with people going on dates. And that's what you make the content on, is your clients going on dates. That's just an example. Now give it roughly 90 days, then reevaluate if you have no leads or no views in this case as well. If you have no views, it's probably your content is shit. And if you have no leads, then it means your proof is shit, on average, of course. But this is going to be a more in-depth rating of exactly what's wrong. So we have the 3 most important metrics on what makes a view count towards a lead or just a good viewer. Number 1, we have your trust score, then your expert rating, then your customer's pain. Your trust score and your expert rating, these combined basically make up your credibility. So trust score and expert rating is basically your credibility in a nutshell. Your trust is pretty simply how much they trust you. How trustworthy are you? On completely low trust, you're going to be seen as a scammer. On completely high trust, you're going to be seen as a family member or very close friend. Basically someone they would potentially risk their lives for you. That's maximum trust. And all of sales is literally just trying to increase the trust score as much as possible. That's all that high level sales really comes down to, is increasing your trust in subtle and slightly manipulative ways. Now, your expert rating is how well do they see you as in your actual product or whatever you're doing. So if you're a coach for something, you best damn be well a near expert at it, or at least just better than where they are right now. That's the most important thing. And being a high expert at whatever you do is going to just open a lot more potential clients for you. You don't have to be a massive expert. You just don't want to be a complete noob, because everything on the left is going to be your potential customer base and everything on the right is not, pretty much. Next is your customer's pain. How painful is their problem? How badly do they want their problem solved? If they have no pain, they're not going to buy no matter what. It's just sad to say. They don't want the problem solved. But if they have maximum pain, like if they're in the desert, they haven't had water in days, then they're going to be in massive pain. You'll be able to charge a lot more for that, even if they don't trust you very well or they think the water's kind of shit. If they're in maximum pain, they're literally dehydrating in the desert, they're going to still pay some money for it. So all of these combined pretty much sum up your growth in YouTube channel, or any channel for that matter, and resulting in your revenue. Your total revenue is basically all three of these. Now let's go on to the next part, and that is you have a slight following on YouTube, somewhere between 500 and 5,000 subscribers. Now, either it's an old channel or you're posting and getting views already. I'll go through each one of these depending on where you are. So starting off, it's an old channel. Is it related to your niche? If not, then it might be better to just start a new channel completely. But if it is, then you could use it and move on to the next part. And that is up here. You're posting already. So how many views are you getting and how many leads or sales are you getting? So we're going to be breaking down each one of these in depth and how exactly to fix them. So number one, here's a leads/content question. So is your leads to view ratio less than 1 out of 500, also known as 0.2%, meaning you get roughly one lead for every 500 views. If it's more than that, then good. Just keep posting. You're doing the right thing. But if it's less than that, then something is wrong. And it's likely one of these three things. Either you're not trustworthy enough, which could be improved by improving your sales skills, or you're not an expert enough in your craft, which could be improved by adding testimonials, or your customers just aren't in enough pain, which is really kind of a niche problem in itself, or a targeting problem. Now on to the next question. Leads to sale. Are you happy with your conversion rate? Now that's the only question I can really ask you, because the actual ratio highly depends on you. So you could be getting like 1 sale for every 10 leads and you could be happy, or you could be literally closing every single one of your leads. I've seen both ends of the spectrum happen, and both people are completely happy. So it really depends on you and your business model. Like if you're going to charge a lot of money for what you do, then it's safe to assume that your conversion rate is going to be slightly lower on average. So if you're not happy, then probably just improve your sales skill, whether that's selling over text or on call. Those are the two main methods you'll sell through. If it is, then good, just keep posting. Now, here's the final question, and that's profit question. Are you happy with the amount of money you're making? If not, then either post more, but maximum preferably is 3 videos a week, 3 long form YouTube videos a week. If you're already doing that and your views are, going up and such, then just increase your prices. Let me break a massive limiting belief that you might have. You probably can charge $5,000 for a single offer. That's the whole beauty of high ticket. You can charge $5,000 to $10,000 for a single offer, and it will actually be worth it. Now again, for both of them, if you want more YouTube growth, like maybe you've actually flatlined in your views, it's likely a content issue. But you can always post to Instagram and TikTok as well and redirect to YouTube. That's an option as well. But if you want to improve your own content, then you can actually just DM me on Instagram and see how I can help you right here, because it's a bit too complicated to fit fully in this video. But now, regardless, let's move on to the final part, and that's large enough. And this is roughly 5,000 subscribers. Now, obviously, subscribers don't exactly dictate your views. I fully understand that, but this is just on average from what I've seen for high ticket channels. You only really need a couple thousand views per video to make more than 10K a month. If you have like 40,000 views a month and you're actually converting well, then you can easily make more than $100,000 per month. I've seen it happen, and it's very possible. Heck, even channels back here with less than 5,000 subscribers have done that. That was one of my clients actually. He had 3 to 4,000 subscribers, and he was making almost 100,000 a month. Not quite, but like 80,000 I think was his peak month. But regardless, here the advice is pretty much the same as the previous point. Basically, you must improve either your trust score, your expert rating, or your customers' pain. And if you're not doing this already, use testimonials in your videos. This is one of the most underrated things people often miss, because this literally solves all 3 of these issues at once. If you use a testimonial, number 1, they'll see you as trustworthy because someone else already pre-selected you for solving their issue. Number 2, they're going to see you as an expert because you actually helped someone like them. And number 3, it's going to be more targeted to their specific pain point. So that's probably the most important thing, and this will result actually naturally in more targeted videos. But if you want more specific help on actually making targeted videos to target your specific client, then you can check out some of my other videos. I've explained this a lot more in depth. But basically, to summarize, you want to be targeting the most bottom of funnel people in your niche. So if you haven't seen this before, this is a basic funnel system. At the top, we have top of funnel. This means they're not aware of the problem, but they definitely have the problem. Then we have middle of funnel, which means they're aware of the problem, but they're not aware of the solution. Then we have bottom of funnel, which means they're both aware of the problem and aware of the solution. And you want to be targeting the most tip part of the funnel, which basically means they're actively searching for a solution. They desperately want to give you their money in order to solve their painful problem. That's who you want to be targeting in your videos. Your videos should literally be like a search term result if they were to Google their problem in YouTube, for example, because people actually use YouTube as like a second search engine for their problems. So be that answer on YouTube. Now, that was the whole YouTube side of things. Next, let's go to Instagram. Now, Instagram today in 2026, I genuinely believe is the meta. And I don't just mean the actual company, because Meta literally owns Instagram. I literally mean Meta is the most effective tactic available, but only for specific businesses. This is the huge catch I see most people miss. So the number 1 first business that this works for is real people. If you can be a real person in your business, then it will work. It's as simple as that. And what this basically means is, are you a real person? And you're not one of the following, either a bot or AI or a brand. So basically, on the left is bad and on the right is good, if you're more of a visual learner. So obviously the left one has more followers, but I actually just AI generated these. These aren't actually real. They're just an example. But yeah, something like this, launchly_AI, with some completely AI generated profile picture, and the description is AI ads, real results, and their website. This just will not work as well as if you were a real person like this person here. Amin Amar, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, but whatever. They're a photographer, they live there, they go to this university, and they're a law student. Cool, now we know more about this person. We feel more like they're our friend already. We're more trustworthy of this person because we see he's real. And he also has a verified tick, which is another thing. Now this works because people buy from friends, or in other words, people they trust. Friends are just people at the maximum end of the trust score. But the most important thing on Instagram is to give value. If you want to sell to them, high ticket especially, you just need to give as much value as you can. Now on to the next one, and that is lifestyle. If your business can somehow present some form of lifestyle, like this for example, I think this is 8Ball, the Instagram channel called 8Ball, then you can actually do pretty well. Basically, it has to be something that looks good on Instagram, because Instagram is a visual first platform. But yeah, these are basically the main businesses that this works for. Now, ideally on Instagram, you want to post every day. But like on YouTube, it will be harder to start from absolute zero. It would be better if you did this on your personal Instagram account that you already have some friends on. Like that's a perfect example. I know it might be kind of awkward to sell to your friends, but that's sometimes just a bullet you have to bite if you actually want to run a successful business with you as the head face of your business. Now, obviously, targeted videos still matter on Instagram. I already made a bunch of videos on this. You can check my other videos out. But too long didn't read basically target the bottom of your funnel, actively searching for a solution, and you can use this prompt that I made. You can have it completely for free. Just DM me the word prompt on Instagram. Now moving on to the final one, and that is TikTok. This one is the fastest to start with zero, but it's been getting harder recently, and that is actually because of a recent TikTok update. I think in the last month, like about a month ago, they released this update where before you would basically get 300 views guaranteed for every video you posted if you were a brand new channel and you weren't shadow banned. But they recently dropped this to 100 views. But TikTok is still going to be the best for people starting from zero. But you still need to do two specific things. Starting with one, that's give value. Give as much free value as you can on Instagram. On TikTok. You don't want to be making entertainment content or content that's supposed to go viral. Exactly. You want to be making content with the purpose of teaching them something so they actually get value. This kind of goes into a slight psychology thing in that you're just giving them free value. And as we all know, there's no such thing as a free lunch, meaning if they get value from you, they'll feel slightly in debt to you, which over time of them watching you means they will likely want to purchase something from you. Even if you don't even have anything to sell, they'll still want to give you money because psychologically deep down, they feel in debt to you. This also goes to another point, which is called the tipping point, and that is when you're trying to target your most bottom of funnel possible, it will result in their pain being solved greater, which will result in them falling over into the green side. I know this is a silly little drawing, but it just hopefully gets the point across a little more. The location of this hump specifically here depends on their pain point and how much you solve it. So if you've solved their pain, they have a higher chance of breaking past this tipping point into the green zone. Now the next part is to post a lot. Now I mean a lot. The more the better on TikTok. I don't even know what the cap is, honestly. I think you can get away with posting 20 times a day or more, but I'm not entirely sure when the shadow ban cap is, or if there even is a cap. Because on YouTube and Instagram, if you post more than, let's say, a couple times a day, then you will be limited in your views. In other words, your views will be spread apart between your videos. That's why I think 2 times a week for YouTube long form is the sweet spot until your views just start getting distributed among the other videos. But a reasonable goal is about 5 times a day for TikTok. Now here's a pro tip. If you're getting exactly 0 views, then that actually means you're shadow banned. So you should stop posting for a few days and re-warm up your account. Literally meaning just scroll on TikTok, comment, maybe follow some people, like some posts, just be a normal person and stop posting for a while, like a few days. Or if this is your first time getting 0 views on a post and it's been like more than 15 minutes, then you can literally just delete the post and then re-upload it again. Like click the delete button, then edit and re-upload, and then click re-upload, and it should be fine, hopefully, if you're not actually shadow banned. But if you are shadow banned, that won't work and you'll need to wait a few days. But regardless, the strategy for TikTok is going to be to redirect to either your YouTube or your Instagram. That's what I've found is the most effective way of having a funnel system. And that is because TikTok is inherently a top of funnel platform, meaning it's going to get the most broad reach, but not the most in-depth people that are actually searching for their problem, and especially for high ticket. But you might be surprised of how many actual potential high ticket clients there are on TikTok. I'm not saying TikTok is completely 100% top of funnel. I'm saying it's mostly on average top of funnel. And out of those top of funnel, there are going to be a few people that make it to the bottom and actually purchase, even for high ticket, even for things like $20,000 plus. I've seen it happen. But if you're just starting out, you kind of need views and growth first, then you can move to conversion. And that's why I recommend TikTok as the starting point for everyone. As well, if you have an Instagram, which could go here, and a YouTube, which is mainly bottom of funnel. But the too long didn't read answer of all of this is that probably you should be posting on all three depending on your business. Like I said, YouTube is going to be the bottom of funnel, Instagram could be a middle of funnel or bottom of funnel, and TikTok will likely be your top of funnel, or if you're brand new, it will be for getting views and an actual audience to your other platforms. So TikTok is really like the feeder source of the other two platforms in a way. But regardless, if you want one-on-one help getting more high-ticket clients, or just have any questions for me, feel free to message me on my personal Instagram at tashielyonns. Now, yes, I do have clients to help, and if you're actually interested in my personal help to get the results that I've shown here, then you can let me know. Or if you literally just have a free question to ask me for free, then that's totally cool too. Then I'll be more than happy to answer. But anyway, thanks for watching.